I had the honor and privilege to go to a private Square Enix cafe in Los Angeles to meet the voice actors, the English voice actors of Final Fantasy VII, as well as the developers of Final Fantasy VII. How did this happen and who do I meet? Well, stay tuned and find out. Welcome guys to YinYangTK everyone, and today I'm going to be sharing my experience of what happened this past Friday in Los Angeles in the Square Enix HQ. So a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from Square Enix saying that I'm invited to join for a special and intimate community event in Los Angeles where they were going to celebrate Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with other fans, with developers from Japan, and to take photo ops and other opportunities. Immediately I said yes. So on December 13th, 2024, I went to the HQ headquarters of Square Enix here in North America in Los Angeles. And when I went there, it looked like a regular building. But the minute I went inside to the lobby area, that's when I saw the Square Enix logo on the lobby. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm finally here. And it took me a while to kind of get out of a daze because I always drive past the Square Enix building when I used to work around that area. And in my mind, I always said, man, I really would love one day to go there or be invited there by, the community, because I love Square Enix games, especially the Kingdom Hearts series and also the Final Fantasy VII series, or anything Final Fantasy related or Square Enix related. And, that's always been, a dream of mine. And just going there and being invited, it almost felt like, a whole moment coming together in which I thought that all of the work I've been doing here in this YouTube channel and YinYangTK, the endless hours of editing, the endless hours of playing, the endless hours of talking to fans and talking about Kingdom Hearts and Square Enix games and what's to come, and building friendships over these awesome creations that we enjoy, and maybe one day going to the actual headquarters here on the West, and now finally to become a reality. It took me a while to kind of put my feet on the floor. And so I kind of had to pinch myself a little bit, and I was just excited. So the next thing was that I went to the actual room in which the whole event was taking place. So when you went into the room, the first thing that you saw is that they were giving away free, snacks, free boba. And then in the middle of the back, you saw that they had like a couple of game stations in which they were promoting the new Final Fantasy mobile game that they were promoting. And then also, for those of you that weren't familiar with playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, they actually had the Chocobo race, in which you chose a Chocobo, customize it, and do a little bit of a race. And then on the very corner, there was a photo op opportunity in which you can take a photo of the Chocobo Ranch or Chocobo Stop. And it was pretty awesome. I actually took a picture. And then at the very front, you saw, all of the posters of all the Final Fantasy VII characters and kind of welcoming all the fans that were here. And the fans were really awesome. They were excited. And the guests of honors mostly were the developers from Japan. But the first thing that when it all started around noon was that the person that was organizing everything, he was basically saying, like, first of all, we want to say thank you to the fans for coming here and, showing the love of Final Fantasy VII and all of the other games of Square Enix. And he also said, we got to thank also the voice actors that came to say hi, which were the English voice actors of Final Fantasy VII. And then we saw the two guests of honors. So the first guest of honor was Yoshinori Kitase, which was a game director and producer working in Square Enix, who also worked on Final Fantasy VII. And then the other person was Naokai Hamaguchi, in that also worked for Final Fantasy VII, and they were very excited because the day before was the Video Game Awards, in which Final Fantasy VII won the best video game music score. So that just goes to show you that Square Enix does a really good job on soundtracks. So as the event started, immediately we saw that a lot of the fans were excited, they were clapping, and there was an opportunity for some Q&A in which this was the opportunity for the fans to ask questions to the developers. And all of the questions that the fans were asking were really thought-provoking. They were really good. They were, some of the questions were actually so good that even the producers didn't even have an answer to it. They were like, that actually is a good question. You know what? I might have to go into that and then maybe answer it in a future, installment or something. And then after it was over, they did say something that they're working really, really hard on the third installment of Final Fantasy VII. But those were not some of the questions that were asked. They actually said at the very beginning that please don't ask anything for the third installment, not even the name, that, it's a work in progress and they're working really hard and they're kind of keeping hush hush. I'm like, all right. And everybody was very, respectful on that sense. So after that was done, there was a Q&A, actually kind of like a quiz, in which fans were able to win a couple of prizes. Some of the prizes that they were kind of giving away was kind of like this one. So like the Buster Sword, the one that Cloud uses in Final Fantasy VII. So this is actually one that lights up pretty cool. So if you kind of like hold the button for like 5 seconds, look, it lights up, and then you see kind of like the two lights like right on the bottom. And then when you press it again, it kind of changes colors, just like the video game, right? And it's pretty cool. It was actually a really cool small mini Square Enix pop-up shop on the very entrance of the actual event area, and it was pretty cool. Like, again, like I never like am bored with this. This is like really, really cool just to like play around with all the colors. And the other thing that I actually did buy from that mini store was the award-winning Game of the Year Best Score soundtrack, Final Fantasy VII, original soundtrack, which was the Rebirth version right here. So, because I was hearing a little bit of the music at the very beginning of the entrance, and it sounded really, really good. And yeah, and there were some other stuff that were also selling, but those were kind of like the two things that I really, really enjoy. And then after that was over, we had the opportunity to take a photo with both producers of Japan. When you took a picture of both of the producers, they actually gave you this really cool poster that's been autographed by both of the producers as well as the developers. And it was really cool. This is something that I'm probably gonna laminate or putting in my wall, kind of frame it a little bit. And I totally forgot that at least one of them actually was responsible and played a major factor for Kingdom Hearts as well. But I didn't want to ask a question about that because they were mostly focused on Final Fantasy VII. But it was really cool. It was really surreal. And then the rest of the time that was allowed there, because they actually had to fly out to Japan right after the event was over. It was really cool just meeting the fans, talking, and talking about like why we love the game, and like a surreal experience being in the Square Enix HQ in this community event. And after it was said and done, I said thank you to the producers. I actually said it also in Japanese, arigatou gozaimasu, and then I also say ganbatte, meaning go for it, do it, to hopefully give them some encouraging words for them to continue the work for the trilogy, the third game of the installment of the Final Fantasy VII series. And overall, it was good. Like I said, for me, it was a very surreal experience. I just want to say again, thank you again, Square Enix, for giving me the opportunity, for giving me this, chance of a lifetime that I never thought that I was going to get. Like, I was just still in shock. But overall, again, thank you so much, and hopefully you invite me again. Please invite me again. I will totally love to go, especially if it's a Kingdom Hearts event later on. So what about you guys? What did you guys think about my eventful event meeting the producers and creators and developers of Final Fantasy VII? And what do you think that the third game of the trilogy is going to call? We have Remake, we have Rebirth. What could be the third one? I have a feeling it could be Revelation, because everything starts with an R. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, write your comments below. And if you like the content of this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications so you know when future videos are available. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed today, and again, stay awesome.